What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about 5 tips and tricks that you can use in your solves to help you beat sub 30 seconds on 3x3. So let's get straight into it. Tip number 1 is making sure that you know the fundamentals. And what I mean by this is making sure that you're not using some beginner's method or something. And yes, before you ask, it is possible to get sub 30 on beginner's method. But if you're ever looking to get some times that are similar to this one, then you're not going to get very far with beginner's method. Step number 2 is having muscle memory for everything. And what I mean by this is, for example, a T-perm. It's one of the PLLs. You could think about every single move and go R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. And your T-perm is done. But when you have muscle memory for that, you can do it an awful lot faster. And fact is that when you, in a way, use your brain during a solve, you're slow. Because when you actively think about moves that you're doing, rather than just having muscle memory to do them for you, you're probably not going to get sub 30 anytime soon. So for the algorithms that you do know, I highly suggest maybe making sure that you have that muscle memory locked down, rather than having to think about every single move that you make. Tip number 3 is making sure that you have high quality finger tricks. And what I mean by this is that at any point in any given solve or algorithm, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that you're using your fingers to their maximum efficiency. And a perfect example of this is the H-perm, where oftentimes what people do is just use their middle finger for the M slices and just their right hand pointer finger for the U moves. And it's just really slow when you do it like this. But a better solution, for example, is using double flicks, which is where in this case I would use my ring finger and my middle finger, and then my middle finger and my pointer finger. And you can combine those double flicks to make any given algorithm much faster. And so, for example, another one is the R-perm, which looks like this. And there's a few key finger tricks in there, including the double flick with the middle finger and the pointer finger, and also the thumb move, which I'll do it slowly so you can see. Double flick with the left hand, another double flick, and then use that thumb to your advantage. Tip number 3 is planning way ahead in your inspection, and maybe even further than you would originally think. A lot of times what people do is they just see if they can get their cross in inspection, and in worst cases, even not all of it. And so one better thing to do would be to locate your cross edges and maybe think about exactly how those are going to get there, and then find a corner in its edge and see what those cross moves will do to it. So for this particular one, I'm going to use this white, blue, and red corner piece along with this blue and red edge over here. And I can see that for my cross, these two are aligned where I can just do a D move and they would align. Or I could bring this blue and white edge piece down first. And so what that would do is move that piece up to there. So now I know that this blue is going to be right there. And so then all of these pieces will be in place except this white and orange. And then I'll bring that down one more time so I know that this blue, this blue right here, is going to be right here. So I already have predicted where my first F2L pair is going to be. So we'll go ahead and see if my prediction's right. And it is. And if you plan that out in your inspection, you would think about exactly how you're going to do that as well. And so in conclusion for this tip, you want to make sure that you plan out as far as you can in your inspection. And finally, tip number 5, which is making sure that you're using good techniques. One thing that you can do to help improve this is just watch walkthrough solves to make sure that you're using efficient algorithms or F2L cases. I do have one of these on my channel, so I'll link that in the top right corner if you're interested, but many other cubing YouTubers have this as well. So in conclusion for this tip, just make sure that you're using good, high quality, efficient techniques. In conclusion, hopefully at least one of these tips helped you, and if it did, a like and maybe even subscribe would be very much appreciated. So hopefully with some of these tips, you can get some times just like this one on the screen. And other than that, I hope you have a great day.